And this lesson we're going to look at Chim Chim Cheree from the Trinity Initial Grade series for 2016 to 2019. So the first thing that we need to look at in this song is really thinking about how we're going to count the notes. The thing that strikes me the most straight away about the song is the fact we've got a mixture of crotchets and quavers. So we need to be clear how we think we're going to count the song. The first thing I'm going to do is I'm just going to tap the rhythm out of the song in the first couple of bars, just so we know how it's going to sound when we play the notes. 1, 2 and 3, 1, 2 and 3. And that allows us then to count the quavers, which sometimes I call quick notes, and the crotchets, which here I could call slow. So I get this: slow, quick, slow, slow, quick, slow. And that helps us get the rhythm there of the first two bars. So straight away, let's have a look how we're going to play those first two bars. We've got note A with finger 2 on the second finger there, second fret of the third string, note A. So we play that. If you play it with an index finger on your right hand, you'll find that your middle finger lies nicely over the first string to play the next note E. So the notes we've got A, E, E, E. So I've got a little bit slower, A, E, E, E. And we're playing mezzo piano, moderately quiet, so not too loud. 1, 2 and 3, 1, 2 and 3. So we can see a nice, clear, defined rhythm that's helping us play the notes nicely in time. Again, I'll repeat that. So we'll start with our A, fret 2, of course, on string 3, starting with the index finger on my right hand. 1, 2 and 3, 1, 2 and 3. Okay, to the next part of the song. So we've got E, F, fret 1 on string 1, E, and then D, fret 3 of string 2. That's the end of that phrase. So what we'll look at is the whole of that phrase from the first note to that D. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2 and 3. 1, 2 and 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. And you can see there what I did, I just moved on to the next phrase. But it's important to have the phrasing feel in your head, otherwise the notes will just seem to continue. So using those minims there, and wherever there's a dotted minim, kind of indicates where there's an end of phrase. And also we see there's changes of the dynamics. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to play the first 8 bars with the 2 phrases. I'll do the counting rather than saying the note names, as we should know the note names by now. And let's see how this sounds. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2 and 3. 1, 2 and 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. And of course that brought in the note that we need to be looking at in bar 7, which was the A sharp. So if we just look at bar 7, we have a B. I'm going to play that with my middle finger here. Whether I did in the song, I'm not sure, but we'll start with the middle finger here, because then on string 3, fret 3, you can see if I give that a waggle, fret 3 on string 3, using finger 3, I've got an A sharp. A, fret 2, A sharp, fret 3, and then we go back to B, and then finish off with an E. So I'll just play bars 6, 7 and 8. C, D, C, B, A sharp, B, E. There's a couple of things in there that perhaps I want to discuss about those 3 bars, and about maybe one of the previous bars before. I think it's bar 5. The question is whether to let these note Ds ring when there's a E played afterwards. D, E, D. It it's your choice. I mean, in some songs it works fine, it works great, there's no problem. But what we really probably could be doing here, better playing I think for this song, is have the notes distinctly different. So I'm going to lift my finger 3 off that D when I play the E. D, E, D. And now of course that just makes it slightly more awkward because we have to bring the D back down again. But if you only lift it like 1 centimetre, that shouldn't be a problem. And the same of course for the A sharp. So we've got B, A sharp. Do we let them ring and clash together? B. Gives quite an interesting clashy sound. I quite like it myself. The question is, what can we do about that? Well, when we play in the B and then we get the A sharp, we tend to find those notes ring on together anyway. But when I go back to the B, I can lift that A sharp off and then be clear. But this is a feature obviously of the guitar. We get lots of open string ringings as we play a new note on another string, and the question is, do we mute that note before moving on? Well, sometimes it sounds fine, and other times then we think, well, maybe we have to stop that note. It's down to your choice. It's not such a big issue at the moment, so my advice is don't worry about it too much. So I'm going to carry on. I'm going to play the next 8 bars. That will take me to bar 16. MF again. MF this time, mezzo forte, moderately loud, so just a little bit louder. Starting with A, fret 2 on string 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2 and 3. 1, 2 and 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. And I can let that note ring on because it's got a pause mark over it. So the only things there that we brought in compared to the previous part of the song, we had a P piano in end of bar 16, P piano quiet, and ritando for slowing down. And you can hear there what I did. I just put a little bit of a break on the song just to bring it to the end. My counting slows down, and then I rested my fingers on string 1 to play a thumb stroke for the low note A, string 5, A, pianissimo, very quiet. So here, to have a little bit more control, instead of playing just a free stroke, I just did a small rest stroke. Not a big one to make it too loud, but and just rested my thumb on there. And it gives me a little bit more control on my thumb. So I hope that is a good lesson for you on Chim Chim. It's all about the counting to me for the quavers and knowing where those phrases are for the minims and the dotted minims, and use the dynamics as a guide for yourself as well.